Hey everyone, welcome to the video. I'm Amy and I post 3 videos a week. I post a lot of 3-day foundation wear tests, full face first impressions, full face one brand, things like that. If that sounds like your kind of content, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out on mine. In today's video, we are trying out the brand new Cosmetics So Soft Blush. I also picked up a few other goodies like their cushion foundation, another of their Heaven's Glow blushes, one of their lip glosses, and I'm going to be creating this eyeshadow look with the Magic Hour palette, which I didn't get to try in my last Cosmetics video. So basically it's going to be a full face of first impressions using a full face of Cosmetics makeup, as well as the brand new blush. I am so excited to show these things to you. I will also be comparing this blush shade in Lychee to a bunch of other blushes in my collection to see if we can find any shade comparisons. If that sounds like something you're interested in, go ahead and like this video and let's get into it. Okay, so obviously the main point of this video is going to be about the blush, but I did pick up the foundation, so we're gonna put that on first. So it comes with the cushion, one compact, one refill, and 2 additional puffs. I didn't know that. If you didn't realize, I don't read anything. I just buy everything. So that's really nice. I was thinking that this was like a little bit expensive, but if you get a refill, it's basically like getting 2, right? It is 48 USD. The refills are $28. So I think that's nice. I got the shade Gentle Light. This is the light medium. I got the second one. I don't know why. I'm always the most fair, or almost always the most fair. But this time I was like, nope, I'm the second lightest. And I know for a fact that I am not, because if I remember correctly, Tara, who is not as fair as me, Tara Brooke, mixes the first and second shade. So I should definitely be the first shade. But for some reason I was like, I'm not that pale. Here's what it looks like. I'm sure you've all kind of seen it. Let's see. I'm gonna dip, I guess, my finger into it just so I can see the color. It is too dark, but it doesn't look ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, I thought it was going to be... I'm sorry I'm going like this. It's like super bright. Maybe I should turn this down. It is also 5:20 in the morning, so that might be why my eyes just aren't ready for all this. I'm going to use the little sponge that it comes with. It's very, very skin-like and it looks sheer because of how skin-like it is. It's like such a dewy, like almost translucent kind of formula, but I mean, it honestly has a pretty good amount of coverage for how much redness it's covering up. And as you can see, it didn't really do too much for this zit here, but I will say I don't really love this. I'm gonna try it with a regular sponge on the other side. There were so many parts of my face where this just looked like it was kind of putting it just like on top of my skin, and I needed to push like harder, but because of the edge it would like pick up and I'd have like a line over here while I was pressing it over here. So I'm going to try to use my sponge on the other side and see how I like that. But also, yes, this color is it's too dark. I don't know if you can tell. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely prefer using my own sponge. I feel like it made it a lot easier to press it into the skin, because I did feel like with this, when I go to just like pat it on, the formula wasn't like thin enough to get into my pores, so it was leaving my pores empty. So then I looked like spotted, so I had to press a little bit harder, whereas this just does it. You know, I don't have to press super hard. It's just my normal amount of pressing and it works. So yeah, but this video is about the blush. So let me go do my concealer and my bronzer, and I'll be right back to talk all about the blush. Alright, so I did use concealer and I did brighten up like the center of my face a little bit, and I bronzed my neck, and I feel like the color looks a lot better now. And I did use a little bit of bronzer on my cheeks. I didn't feel like I needed too much, honestly, because of how tanned my skin was, so it was kind of like a reverse situation. So here's the box. I don't think you can see it from there. It's quite washed out. And it does have the color on the top, just like the eyeshadow, so I really like that. So this is the second shade that they have in their range, and I picked it up because I thought it looked like a color that was similar to this family of other blushes that I have that I really love. So here's the package. It's a nice, soft pink blush kind of shade. I really think it's cute. And here is the shade. Such a lovely little like soft peach kind of color. It's quite pink, but not like baby bubblegum pink. It's more of a warm pink. Before we go to swatches, I'm going to go ahead and apply it, and then I will show you swatches of all the colors next to each other that I think are similar. I'm going to use a clean e.l.f. Precision Stippling 105 brush. This brush is always linked in my description below. I have a list of like my favorite brushes that's always linked, and foundation colors that match me the best down there, and a lot of like useful information down in my description. If you never check it out, I take a lot of time to fill out my description box. I know that not a lot of people read it, but I do know, like, personally, when I'm like, I watch YouTube videos to enjoy them, right? But say it's like months later and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to try that thing that person used. What color was it? So I go back to that video, and then I don't want to watch the whole video again to find that one moment when they said the words. So I always try to put the shades that I'm talking about in the video below. So check that out if you haven't. I'm going to take the brush onto the stick. So I've found this is like my favorite way to use stick formulas, is to really just go in and take it off of the stick. And this is quite soft. As you can see, it picked up quite a bunch. So maybe this is enough for both cheeks. We'll see. I'm going very lightly. Woohoo. I feel like that's enough for that cheek, so I'm actually going to just turn my brush over to the other side and blend. That is such a pretty color. It's a little bit more of a like vibrant color than I thought it would be, but I think it blends so beautifully. So beautifully. Just gonna take what else I have on here. Yeah, I feel like that was the perfect amount for both cheeks. That's super pretty. I thought it was going to be, when I picked it up and I saw how bright it was, I was like, oh, this is going to be too pigmented. But I feel like it blends out. I mean, just look at it. And the texture is so lovely with their foundation. Okay, so one thing I want to mention is that I normally try not to watch videos when it's especially like a new release, because I want to get like my first impressions. But I did watch Mariah Leonard's video, which is actually a good thing that I did, because she had issues with these. They kind of like picked up her foundation, and since I'm using their foundation, I was like, oh, I wonder if I would think that they would build their stuff to work together, right? And I really think they did. I'll have to try this again with other foundations and stuff and see if I have that issue that Mariah had. But at this time, I do not see any kind of picking up, patchiness, anything like that. So I did also pick up another one of their powder blushes, because I really love that formula. The Venetian Rose color is beautiful, but I do think it is a little bit deep for me. Like, I have to be quite light-handed with it. So I picked up the shade Magic Hour. So this is Venetian Rose Magic Hour. And again, this is the Heaven's Glow blush. Ugh. Stop. Yeah. Like, this color, it's beautiful, but it is like a little bit deep for me. So I do have to go light-handed with it. I already said that. but I got this one as well, and I kind of want to use it. So I'm going to use it on top of this. It looks so beautiful. It looks like the perfect kind of tone to put lightly over this. So I feel like it's a very, very similar tone, but it does, like, this is like a dew factor, whereas this is like a soft glow, if that makes sense. Hopefully you can see it. It definitely set the blush, but it remains glowy, whereas this one looks wet, like unset. They are very similar tone in case you had this blush and you just wanted kind of like the cream version of it. I do think it is quite similar. Ugh. So pretty. So pretty. Ugh. Stop it. I want to talk a little bit about the blush shades. So there's those together. So Lychee is a little bit more of a like corally tone, where Heaven's Glow is much more peachy. So the first thing that comes to my mind when I see this swatched is the Melt Blush in Honey Thief, which this one is 4.5 grams and this one's 8 grams. So I think this is like a tiny little component, but it does have quite a bit of product in it. Because when I saw this tiny component, I was like, it's gonna have like no product in it, but it actually does have a lot of product in it. So this is the Honey Thief shade. Very similar. Honey Thief is a bit more pink. I was also thinking about my Tower 28 Magic Hour, which is like my favorite everyday nude. This one is, on application at least, a bit more neutral. So let's see it swatched. It's got like a mauve-y kind of undertone compared to the others. Yeah, you can see it. This one is Magic Hour, Melts, Honey Thief, and then Lychee and Magic Hour from M Cosmetics. Okay, and then I also have this sample of Velvet Melon, which I thought might be a good color. I've been loving this too, but it definitely looks a little bit more peachy. Yeah. Velvet Melon is closer to M Cosmetics Magic Hour Powder, but a little bit more bright orange, and this one's a little bit more bright coral moment. Maybe Warm Honey by Cover FX. I know this is a powder, but if you just wanted to see the tone, and I'm gonna go ahead and just mix. So that one is also a bit more of a nudie kind of color. And then one more, I pulled out Pinched from Flower Beauty. I think this one will be a little bit more orange, but so we've got M Cosmetics Lychee, M Cosmetics Powder in Magic Hour. We've got Velvet Melon from Kosas, and we've got Flower Beauty's Pinched. And then on this side we have Melt Cosmetics Honey Thief, Tower 28 Magic Hour, and then Cover FX Warm Honey. So I definitely think Honey Thief is the closest, but Honey Thief is a little bit more of a pinky color. Okay, so there's all of those swatches. Now what I want to talk about is the Magic Hour Compact. I have used this, but I have not used it on camera, and I told you guys I would. I'm just gonna do like an everyday situation with this, maybe like this moment all over the lid. Yeah, I don't know, we'll see what we get, but I'm gonna just kind of show you as I fast forward through this and kind of tell you what I'm using. Alright, that was a very easy little look. I'm going to throw on some of my M Cosmetics brow gel and some mascara, and I will be right back. Alright, so I've got brows and mascara on, and now it's time to get to my final new product. I picked up one of their glosses. I got the shade Mochi Mochi. I felt like that was the shade that I would wear like every day. I could have gotten the clear one, but I was like, you know what? I have a few clear glosses that I already love, so let's get like an everyday shade, you know? Such pretty packaging. I love their branding. It's so nice. It's like just enough without being too much, you know? So I'm just gonna put this on and we'll see the color on my lips. Well, I don't love that on its own, honestly. It's a little bit, is it a little bit perfumey? Maybe there's not a scent in it because it doesn't smell like anything. Gel base gloss with a lacquer-like shine, plumps and drenches with high impact color. I don't see fragrance in here, so I don't think they added one. So whatever I'm tasting is like just part of the formula. But it is a little, it's like washing out the color of my lips, which is fine because I like a nude lip, but it's also kind of grabbing all the little edges of dead skin so you can see it. That I don't like. And it's more of like a creamy gel. It's like a really, really thin gel. I wouldn't call this like a lacquer-like shine. It's not that glossy to me, honestly. It's kind of like a thin lip cream, but the color of this looks kind of like I've got like a lip treatment on. So I'm gonna wipe it off, and then I'm gonna put a lipstick on and then put this over and see if I like it better. For a lipstick, I'm actually gonna put on the Venetian Rose lip cushion because I do think this is a little bit dark for me, and maybe I'll like it with that gloss on it, you know? So this is the, what do they call these? Lip Cushion Tinted Luminizer in Venetian Rose. Now this I think has a lacquer-like shine to it. I just think it's a little bit of an intense color for me. So I don't know. I don't feel like it gave enough to really lighten this up. You know? Let me, I'm trying too hard for this, I think. I've wiped quite a bit of the Venetian Rose lip cushion off, so let's try putting the gloss on now. Do you see that color? It's hot. It doesn't look that great. It didn't like tone down the color and make like a pinky color. It just kind of made the color that was there look kind of chalky and milky. So I don't know. I don't think I like this gloss. Sorry. Let's talk about my final thoughts about everything we tried here today. So first, the foundation. So far, I'm really liking it. I like that it has a glow to it. I did only set kind of like under my eyes and a little bit around my nose. And then obviously my bronzer is powder. Not obviously, but my bronzer is powder, so you can consider that set. But I don't feel really the need to set. Like maybe on my chin, I feel like that's a little bit extra glowy. But everywhere else, I'm really happy with it. It does have like a little bit of a wet feel to it, so maybe if I were going to wear a mask or touching my face for some reason during the day, I might want to set it a little bit more. And it's a little bit dark, but so far so good. If you want to see a 3-day foundation wear test on this cushion, then let me know. I would definitely do that for you. And then we tried the blush, the brand new So Soft blush. I love this shade. The formula was really lovely. I need to try it with other foundations, obviously, to see if I have any issues with it. But I really liked it. I think the color pigmentation as well as the amount it shears out was really nice and made for really easy use. Works beautifully with my favorite cream brush, the e.l.f. 105. If you don't have that brush, I promise you it makes everything so easy. Like, you need at least one in your collection, and then once you have one, you will want like 12 of them. So I really like it, and you actually do get quite a lot of product compared to these other ones. I don't know if I said them all out loud, but I did read it. This one again has 8 grams. This one has 4.5 grams. 4.5 grams. So I do think, even though this component is quite small, it does have a lot of product in it. Definitely worth that much money. I was thinking at first, like, this has at least half the product of everything else that I have, but it has twice the product of most of the creams that I have. So it's definitely worth that like $30 mark. Moving on to that Magic Hour blush. Love it. Love the tone. By the way, the color Lychee, if you wanted something that goes really well with your Magic Hour blush, with your Magic Hour, you know, eyeshadow compact, I think this color goes beautifully with it. It's just a little bit vibrant of a peachy tone, or like a neutral coral, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's like a nudie coral or a vibrant peach. So I really like that. And then again, the closest shade I have is Melt Honey Thief. Yes, back to this powder. I really like it. I can't wait to use it on its own because I do think it will be a little bit more of a neutral color. This does like melt into my face right now, and it looks very like not natural, but like at home on my face. It doesn't look like a really bright, colorful situation, but I do think this will look much more nude and neutral. You know what I mean? Once I have it, you know, on its own. So I can't wait to try that again. Really quickly, the Magic Hour eyeshadow palette. I like their eyeshadow formula. I think it's a really nice, really impactful, everyday kind of shadow. Like, these shimmers are beautifully creamy and molten looking. They look beautiful, but they don't have a bunch of extra glitter, which I do love, you know, glitter, you know, intense special occasion kind of looks. But I think these are the perfect kind of thing for every day. So I'm really, really happy I picked this up. This color that I put all over my lid is just, it's so stunning. Ugh, I love it. And I love that the like pink in here, this lighter pink, is more of like a poppy, brighter color, because then you can make what looks to be a little bit more of a colorful look, as well as a million different everyday looks with this palette. So I'm really glad that I picked that up last time. And then the gloss. This is the one disappointment. Like, I don't mind it, but I don't like it. I don't think the color is the right color for me, and I don't love whatever that flavor is that I'm getting from it. And I do kind of wish that in its place I would have picked up another color of the lip cushion, because the lip cushion is an amazing formula. This is just a little bit deep for me on the everyday, but I love the lip cushion formula, the lip gloss, especially in Mochi Mochi. I don't really like it. I don't really like it. I'm gonna just say that. And I wanted to mention that in my last video, my last M Cosmetics video, if you haven't seen it, I tried out the Venetian Rose collection. I picked up the blush, the serum blush, and it had like a defective dropper. I did contact them. They sent me a brand new one. Pretty much no questions asked, you know. And I just wanted to show you that this one does, you know, come out whoop, nice and easy. And the other one, like, I could hold just the lid and it would hold the whole bottle. It was a little bit of a mess. So I just wanted to let you know that if you do get one and it has a defective dropper, to go ahead and let them know, and they will send you a new one. Yes, that was a lot, and that was a lot longer than I wanted to film, because I want to get this up today. So right now it is 6:19 in the morning. So let's see, let's see how fast I can edit this and get this up. So that is all I have for you guys today. I will link as much as I can below and make sure to put the shades and everything for you. So don't forget to check out that description box. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me out so much. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
I pulled out Pink Tint